Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and I am so super excited today to be exploring with you what else you can actually create using Artistly or whatever generator you're using. I'm going to be demonstrating Artistly 6 because that's what I make my art in. But we're going to be playing around with the Christmas Florals Playbook. And just because it's a really fun book, and if you already own it, I wanted to give you some tips on how else you can incorporate the information in it. And so if you don't own it, you'll see that it is a very versatile playbook, and you probably need it in your library of playbooks. But anyway, let's jump in. I'm going to go into create design. I've already sort of started playing around. I'm going to go over here and show you what I just made. Okay, so we know obviously that the Christmas Florals Playbook is was designed and created to help you get really pretty Christmas florals. So, it does have all of that. But what we're going to do is not only explore that part of it, but we're also going to see exactly what else we can do and how else we can incorporate it. So, we're going to pop into the Christmas Florals Playbook. And for those of you who don't know what it looks like, that's this one. It's one of the lower cost ones because it's only 110 pages. So it's kind of one of the little mini playbooks, but packed, literally packed with information. And so let's pop to the table of contents. I'm going to estimate that's 5 or 6. Okay, so here we go. So you're going to see that it has a lot of different aspects to it. So we've got flowers and greenery and all this kind of stuff. So one of the places I'm going to draw your attention to is the color modifier word bank, and also the color and palette words. We're going to go to color and palette words, and we're going to go back up here. Okay. So we're going to go to the color and palette words. And we're going to just kind of look at all the different palettes. So, all of these are really pretty colors, but we also have some like the frosted and neutral palettes that are really good for Christmas and the Christmas holidays. But a lot of these can also be used for different things. So I'm going to show you, we're going to pop in. And let me just let me find one of my images. Here, let me just pop down. Okay, so let's just say we go into this one. And I create my prompts and everything with the playbooks and everything. Well, we're going to go into regenerate. And I've got this very detailed prompt that I've come up with using my playbooks, but we want to change the palette, the color palette. And so I think that probably this frosted neutrals will probably be a good place to start. So let's take this snow dusted cream and cool gray and go back in. So let's go and find, this has got the earthly greens and browns, forest greens, rich browns and all. We're going to replace that with this new palette. And then I'm going to go back in and we're just going to test it out and see. Because, I know you all love all the little palette combinations all through all of the playbooks, but I just wanted to bring your attention to look how pretty that is. How that gave it that little smoky look in the back. Let's look again. Now I'm using the grunge scrapbook. So we've got the soft powdery color effects with the snow dusted cream and the cool grays. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now we're going to take the same prompt just to so that we can get a good basis of comparison. We're going to now, let's choose the frosted white and muted sage. Okay. Color is a communicator. And so we're going to change it out. It's something you definitely need to ace when you're doing your prompts because it's going to give you such range with your art. So you can see the difference here. This one is the sage. See how pretty that is. So that was frosted white with muted sage. Now you're still getting all your other colors, but you can tell the difference between how they look. Okay. So now let's go to the cottage core. And let's see if there's anything that we can use. Soft blush and beige with muted green. Let's see what that would look on this, how that would look on this thing. Now that is not typically something you would even select, but what I want you to understand about what I'm trying to teach you here is that you can't, you should explore. Don't automatically think that something won't work with the image you're working with. Just test it out and see, because that's where you're going to find the magic things that nobody else are doing. You know, it's just like with florals and stuff. When you can present florals that in general that don't see, now look what that did. That actually took our animal out of it, but look, it added in these little details, and so we got more of a spring, you know, like a transition between winter and spring kind of look. So let's go back and look and see what that was soft blush and beige with muted green. And somehow that changed it. So, okay, so let's explore a little bit more. Let's go now into creating this rustic look. So let's do this rustic palette of cream, beige, and warm taupe. And then we're going to change our subject and everything. So we're going to go back to this, which is closest to our original. And then we're going to change the color out to that rustic palette of cream, beige, and warm taupe. So you get just that, it just changes it up. There's little small, tiny little variations there. Okay, so now let's go back to jewel tones, it says. Okay, so deep, let's see, emerald green and deep navy with silver. I'm not sure what that'll do, but let's try it. And you've got to remember that the rest of your prompt is this, you know, also it's got realistic wildlife illustration, you know, the hand painted scenes and all that kind of stuff. So some of it will overwrite. And I'm going to put this one to the front just to kind of give it more importance. Look how pretty. So that's in the Christmas Florals, and these are definitely not Christmas Florals, but it shows you how you can use those palettes that are in that book to even expand your creation possibilities even further. Okay, so now let's take and apply some of this same concept to another subject. Let's just say we want to do, let's just say this teddy bear. Okay, so we've got the teddy bear. And let's just say we've got him, but let's see, he's a baby bear, da 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 da. Facial features, okay. And we want him to be wearing, hush, you hear her growling. She growls at my other dog all the time, even when he is not doing anything at all. Wearing a Christmas or a, let's see, a cute sweater. Okay, so we've got earthly greens and stuff. We're going to change this out to the last one that we did and add that emerald green and deep navy with silver. We're going to leave him in that shape. So he was just a very simple little bear. So let's see what this does, changing up the colors. Look how cute. Now we could go back and let's see if we can make him in. He looks like a storybook character, doesn't he? Okay, so let's go back and now let's do it here. Look how adorable. Precious. Precious. So we've got this really pretty. Now, if you just asked for green, you're probably not going to get these subtle looks here. So we could actually go back now. We could go back in with the same one. And we could say, wearing a cute sweater with a, and let's go back over here. Let's see, let's find a deep burgundy and champagne gold. We're going to use these colors, and we're going to tell a cute set with a Christmas gift package with, let's say, a deep, let's take the colors, deep burgundy, and then we're going to do the champagne package with a champagne oops. Champagne gold bow on the front of the sweater. Okay, so let's see if we can prompt it so that it gives us a pic, like an applique on the front. Look at that, how cute. Now, actually, this looks more like he's holding it, but it is flat against the thing, so that's kind of a cool image anyway. But see how cute that is? That's adorable. And we're just using our colors to get our image. Now, it changed our bear up just a little bit. So, if you wanted the exact same bear, you would take that bear into the style, human stylizer or something like that, and then tell it to have the, and we could go back in and we could say that the package is actually, okay, cute sweater with an applique of a deep burgundy Christmas. Let's try that. You could also add that it's maybe like a quilted or embroidered. You could use some of that to get the package just right on the sweater. Let's see. There we go. It gave us our package on the front of the sweater. That is super, super, super cute. Okay. So that's with that. Now to even further prompt, let's say we have the character creation. So let's take our bear a little bit further. And we're actually going to attempt to use some human characteristics. I know that there's a whole section on doing the animal things, but we're going to apply human characteristics to our animal clip art. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to 6 and then go to 7. Okay, so with 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with the not the body types or the hair. We're going to go into the expressions library. Okay, so we're going to go into the power of emotional. Okay. Oops. Okay, then there we go. So what we're going to do is we are going to see if there's something in here that we can do. So relaxed posture, hands clasped gently, lifted chin. None of those for our bear would really work. Now we could do a soft smile. But let's just say we want to do joy. So let's do arms crossed inward or folded. Okay, so we're going to go back into this one. And we're going to find our bear. And we're going to say his arms crossed inward or folded. We're going to try that. Look how cute. So you see, I'm trying to show you that how you can use aspects of the various different playbooks to even take your images that much further. So look at that, how cute that is. Now, what we could do, let's just say that we wanted to, let's go to back to 7. Let's see, let's go to 9. Okay, let's see. Rendering, emotional, sleeping, animals and accessories. Story banks. The language of shoes. Let's go into this now. Okay. We're going to add some leather loafers to this bear. Like I said, we're adding things human characteristics to the animals. Now, if you're doing characters for storybooks and stuff like that, then this is going to be very valuable. Or if you're just doing a pack, so like if you want to, add the cowboy boots and the different things like that. So, okay, so in the front of the sweater, wearing leather loafers. Okay. We're going to try it again. Choosing the correct aspect ratio. We should get a full body. And you know that I never know. I'll let you see my raw prompting. Look at that. Look at the cute little leather loafers. How absolutely precious are those? So cute. And we still have the hands folded in front. Now, he has gotten a little sad. So our character is a little sad. But now, let's just say we wanted to take this one. We want to take this character. And we wanted to do some consistent character with it. We could pull him in as our character. And this is one way that we can change what he is doing or whatever. And we have to change the aspect ratio to make it match under this particular thing. But we can actually, it's got 2D, 3D. Okay, so we can say this bear sitting on a park bench. This takes Build-A-Bear to a totally different look, right? Okay. So we've got the bear here sitting on the bench, but it is a rendition of, it's not our soft watercolory kind of image. So let's go back. But now it looks a lot like him. So we've got that 3D thing going on. Okay. So let's look at some other options of being able to do the exact same thing. Now, with the 2D, 3D, there is no option. I wish that they would open it up to where, you could use your, whoops, that's the wrong one. But we can use him anyway. So you see the only choices are like this. Now, if we say keep the same style and character, but the character is sitting on a park bench. Make this against a white background. Okay, we're going to try it like that, okay? Let's troubleshoot it. Let's go back and see now if it'll give us that character exactly the way it is and not change it to that more 3D look. There we go. Sitting on a bench, and see, there we go. So that's what you have to do. You have to specify for it to keep your character the same and not just depend on when you click that 2D, 3D. So now we got that one, which was actually this one right here, and he is sitting on a park bench. Okay, so now let's go back to our one here, because maybe we want to write a story about this one and we want to make him a happy bear instead. So we're going to go back over here. Oops, not there. And we want to choose him. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. We want, he doesn't have shoes on. We want the one with the shoes. Okay. So now we're going to go over here change the aspect ratio again. Okay, so keep the same style and the same character. The character should be have a soft smile and be sitting on a park bench against a white background. So let's see how that turns out. Because we want the character that had the little loafers on. So we do have a little smile. We have our character sitting with, and let's just compare him. Here he is here. And if you opened him up, I do believe that is the same character. He looks a little bit heavier in this particular image than he does here, but that's something that you could work with your proportions. Still has the same thing on his sweater. He's actually still got his hands in the same position, which you could change in your prompting. So now you see how that can all work, and you can jump from one. So create your original prompt, which is some of your images that you've already done. Then you can go back and tweak them with the different playbooks. So let's just say now we're going to go back into the floral, and let's just go back to the table of contents, which is not there. Let's see, 5. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go back to table of contents and just kind of look at some of the different things that are in here. So we have this farmhouse chick. Okay, so let's just think about changing things out. So farmhouse chick. So let's do farmhouse chick, and we're going to do this. It's just a base prompt. We're going to take this back in, and we are going to go back over here, and we are going to add this to the front, and we're going to change the take out the Christmas bouquet and see what kind of difference it might make with our overall with this image, because we're changing it up just a little bit. Okay, so now it changed up our bear completely, the way he looks. He's still got his loafers on, but we've got a different looking bear. Now let's see if moving that from one end to the other end makes a difference. So we're just going to move this and put it down here without changing anything else and see if it makes a difference in how it renders. I'm all about getting the most out of your money, and that's how, okay, so it did actually change up, and I guess I changed the aspect ratio. So we did get a much different look with our bear by having that. So now let's go in. But anyway, that's why I try to pack so much value in the playbooks, is I don't ever want anyone to purchase a playbook and say they didn't get their money's worth. I want it to be so super, packed. And so that goes back also into me being able to show you how you can use all of the different playbooks interchangeably to get even more value out of them. So we're going to go back in and do this one. And if I can quit getting pop-ups and stuff all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually add this Scandinavian minimal, and I'm going to put it in both places. Okay, so we've got the minimal Christmas bouquet, which we don't want the Christmas bouquet in there. We just want the minimal watercolor. And we're going to see what it does, how that affects the look of the bear. This is Scandinavian. Look at that. How cute. Super cute little bear. I like his looks a lot. Now we're going to go in this time and we're going to change up the realistic wildlife, the detailed, and we're just going to go to clip art and see how that, what that affects. And actually the original prompt did have Scandi style, so it's right along the same thing. So I'm going to go here. But this is actually inside of the florals. And this is definitely not florals. We're actually using this. Look at this. How cute. Another cute little bear style. Super cute. Look at his little pants he has on. The others didn't have the little pants. But this one, we get the little pants. We get the little sweater. We get this cool little Scandi style. Really super cute. And we get the minimal eyes and everything for that character. How cool is that? Now, can we go back into the let's see here what we've got. Glasses and eyewear. Glasses. So let's find some glasses. Let's put some oversized statement. Oh no, let's do thin metal aviator glasses because that would be funny. And let's go in and put them on this one. Now that's in the character creation playbook. Okay, so features, wearing thin metal aviator glasses and a cute sweater. It's just all about the details that I want you to understand that you have complete creativity with using these tools. Oh my goodness. How cute is he? So super cute. And we have just created another really cool potential for, think about taking this. I can take this character and I could turn him into a storybook as well. Or he could be a whole pack. I mean, there are lots of little kids that wear glasses. So maybe we do a whole clip art pack that is representative of all the little kids that wear glasses. Now, to be honest, this does not look like aviator glasses to me, but they're cute glasses, so I'm not going to complain too much. We're going to go back to here and see if we can find something different. Let's see. Let's do square modern frames and try that. See what that does. And we're just in the grunge scrapbook. So imagine if we take this into what kind of characters we're going to get, taking that exact same prompt and moving it into another generator. And we're going to do that in just a second. Okay, so let's go back here. And if you don't already have the playbook, there's the little square frames. Super cute. And all of these little bears could be in a storybook together. We'd have to change their, and put some like Club Bear or something, in there. But think about now if we make this into we can change. We have the exact same thing, but let's change it up a little bit. Baby bear. Let's do little girl, baby bear, round da 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 da, cute sweater, blah 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 blah, gift package, da 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 da, on the front of the sweater, wearing ballet slippers, and she's gonna be wearing a sweater and a cute skirt. Wearing a sweater, a cute skirt, and wearing ballet slippers. And then her arms are going to be on her hips. Okay. And let's see what we get there. So we've got glasses. We've changed up what she's wearing. I could have gone and popped out some real detailed outfits for her. I'm just trying to show you on the fly without this becoming a really long. Look how cute. Now we have a little girl with the glasses, and we got a cute little Scandi. Now, the Scandi effect for this one, we lost that little bit of minimal in there, so we could reinforce that if we wanted the minimal look with the eyes and everything, and specifically tell it to do the eyes that way. But she is still super cute, and she would be cute with any of the, like this one. She'd be really cute to doing a little story with that one. So you've got the different personalities with the bears. And now let's just see what we would get if we go back in. We're going to regenerate this one. And this time, we're going to not do the grunge look. We're going to go into this watercolor style and see what we get. So you can see the range of what you create. So really and truly, you're creating your base prompts, and then you're building from that. You're building your clip art packs. You're building your storybooks characters. You're building from some of the same. Look at this. How cute is that? Now, she is super cute. And it did interpret her as the more minimal. And she is more of a watercolory, soft watercolory look. So let's take the same thing and let's try it out in this clip art style. So work on your prompts, and once you get your prompts down, then try them out in the various different places. Look, cute. I love the glasses and the little blush on her cheeks. So you can definitely do some really cool things. And see, we started out with this, and actually with this bear here, which is also super cute. This just very basic little bear. And we were able to then tweak it using the different playbooks. Now, let's just say we want to change up, and let's go back into the floral again. And let's just say we want to use, now all of these are not intended. I mean, these are not prompts that typically you would, so let me just show you. Okay, so let's just do this. So a Christmas planner page, we're going to add this in. Now, I'm going to add it in. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to do it. Okay. Featuring, and let's see what it does. Let's go to the page size, and then let's see what it gives us. I just want you to understand that you have a toolbox and you can use it however. Okay, so we ended up with some little florals here. We ended up with kind of, this is kind of cool the way it's got this. Now, this was a Christmas planner page. So I wanted an actual planner page. So I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit more. So we're going to go back in. Okay, so Christmas planner page with floral border. in the bottom left corner, place okay, we're going to move this whimsical in the bottom left corner, place a little girl bear. Okay, we're going to try it like that. Because what we're trying to do is get kind of like a planner page look that already has the little, that's using that as a, okay, so it didn't do it in the left, but it did get more of the page style, and we've got kind of the little bear here. All these elements could be used for that, but I'm going to keep tweaking it and see what I can do to this prompt to make it work. Okay, so Christmas planner page with floral border, watercolor, okay. Floral border and a blank center for writing, watercolor, and then let's try it again. Now, I could probably go into the junk journal playbook and grab one of those prompts that about, the a junk journal, like as the base for the prompt. There we go. And we have within, 3 prompts, we got what we were looking for. How cute is that? Now we could take, and let's just say we want 4 pages done like this that are sort of somewhat matte. Let's see if it will give us 4 pages we could use in a planner. And then I'll take you inside Canva and we will see how we could potentially like lay out the insides. Okay, so now that one, but the others are great. Look at these. All of these could be used like that. They're very similar. Okay, so let's just say we want variations of this and we don't want to do them like that, and we maybe want to use the same. Like these are cool, but they're not super consistent. So let's take this prompt. We're going to copy it. And we are going to take it into another one of the features in Artistly. And let's see what it gives us. We're going to go here under the clip art. We're going to paste our prompt. Now, the look is probably going to be different, honestly, but we're just trying to see if we can get one of them to give us the borders and stuff like we asked. We're going to go down to the 4-3, no, 3-4. Okay. We're going to select 4 images and see if it'll render 4 different pages that will be similar. And, you probably might not want to put the bears, but I'm trying to show you that you can, how you can get the different, you could say take the bear off if you really like that frame for like a planner or whatever you wanted to use it for. You could separate it in Canva. There's a lot of different things you could do. So I'm curious about, and I don't know why it's not, the clip art thing is not showing me I thought I told it to do 4 images, and it looks like it's only going to do 1. So I'm going to go back in here, try it again. Paste, and 3-4, and 4 images, and generate the clip art. There we go. We've got 4 coming up now. And this might take a few seconds. As we know, in Artistly and all the other generators, sometimes certain things, certain images take a little bit longer to process, but this is actually really kind of cool. I could do something with those. And the little bears with the glasses have a lot of attitude, so I can see those being really cool. Now, something you could do is you could go back and replace that. Let's see if we could replace it with like, while we're waiting on that to populate. Let's go into the design assistants and go to human stylizer, choose from here. Let's see if we can choose her. And then change the image of the gift to a giant or a Christmas tree. There we go. Well, that was a lot faster. Okay, so we ended up with a Christmas tree, but we didn't tell it where to put the Christmas tree, but that is still a super cute little image right there. I like it. And then it also gave us a Christmas tree because I hit it twice. And I actually like that Christmas tree. So, and then these are still processing. So we'll move on and let those just continue to process. Okay. So let's just say that we want to create let's just do the Christmas planner page with the floral border. Or we want to do the holiday checklist printable with floral corners. Let's go and try that. And we want to do it under the grunge scrapbook. Okay, so let's see what this turns out like, and then we'll start tweaking it to see if we can get what we really want. Okay, so we'll start with the base, start with the right aspect ratio. There we go. Okay, so to me, these are not as, I mean, it is a holiday look in the corners and all, but we need to refine this, right? So we would go back into here and we would go here. Oops. And we would go to arrangement and layouts. So let's just say we want a that's the color palettes. We want the words. So choose this. And we're going to change this out to a garland. Let's see. And then we want to go to here and go to the flowers. Okay, so we actually don't want to go to the flowers. We want to go to the arrangement layout work. Nope, that's not where we want to go. Greenery, grouped phrases. That's what we want. So we want to pick out grouped phrases. So we want to go to rustic farmhouse mix with the pine cones and the and then we want to say with a blank space to add the checklist and with a swag, and then we want to say featuring a rustic farmhouse mix. Okay, so we're gonna try that and see how that turns out. While we're waiting on that, let's see if any of our other, oh, pretty. Now this has the checklist. We could take checklist out though, and then that would give us a really good basis, a pretty basis for doing a holiday checklist. So it put the checklist there, which I would probably not keep. I do kind of like the more hand-drawn look of those, and if you could kind of isolate those and then remove the backgrounds and use just the boxes the way you wanted to, then that would be a cute thing to put in a scene creator where you could go back in and pull them out if you wanted to use it that way. But this is really pretty with the, I like that. So these still have not, that's under the clip art feature, so that's being super slow today. I may end the video before we actually do that. So let's take and regenerate this, but this time we're going to take the holiday checklist part out of it and just say holiday printable with a blank space, and then see what that looks like. Pretty, and it would match with this. So another way that you can do these like printables like this, where you're trying to like, see, I really like this, and this could really potentially be, you could remove the background, add your here, let me just show you. Okay, let's go to Canva. Let's choose 8.5 by 11. And let's download this. I think I already did it, but if I didn't, it'll be there. We're going to go to uploads. We're going to upload it. Okay. And then what I would do is, or what you can do to allow you to do it better is we drag this one here. Okay. So it's there. And then we can actually duplicate this one. It didn't do it. Let's see. Duplicate. Okay, so we've got 2 pages. So this one, we're going to remove the background. Okay, so now we have the white background. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go in. We're going to copy this one again. We're going to remove the background. Then we're going to take it like this. Now, why would we do this? We already have it laid out like that, but the reason we're going to do that is because it'll allow us some flexibility on sizing. So now we have this one, and we have the other one, and we can do things with this. Like we could drag it like that. We could, move it down where all we have is that. we've got a little bit of flexibility. So let's grab the top piece here, bring it here. So this is where we're going to be able to do a little bit of something. So let's just say we wanted to duplicate this one, and we wanted to flip it. Okay, we can do that. Then we can take and do it again, and we drag this right there in the middle. Make it a little bit bigger. And we could group them. And then we can bring them, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, then we can take this and we can actually go like that and put it down here. I don't like that. So let's take one of these, ungroup them. Let's take one of these. Okay. Now we're going to see if we can rotate this one around. Let's see. We're going to go with position, and then we're going to do the rotate. We're going to do this rotate. Let's just say 90. There we go. So we can put it here, duplicate it. So you can build your own using it. So just a thought. So you can use them as is, or you can take and like see if we wanted to do it the other way, like we just wanted to take this one exactly the way it is and duplicate it, we could remove that background, then it's white, then we could change and we could make the background. And I'm just going to drag this down here just a minute just to get to the background. We could take the background and we could turn it into black, and we could do it like that. So you can go in and take the background off and redo it however you wanted to. So lots of possibilities. So really cute. Same thing with this one. If we grabbed it, we took it in, we could upload it, and we could remove that background. Let's see if it leaves the, okay. So now we still have those little things. So what do we do with them? Because we don't want them on there. So we go over to edit. We go into Magic Eraser and we just erase them. Then we go back and we've got it like that. And then we could again go in and change the background to that black. And we have another design that could work in the same planner or whatever, whether it's a planner or a flyer or whatever. And we can move this up. There we go. So you can kind of see them close together. See how cute? So another great way. Let's see if we've got any results. We do. Okay. So this is using the clip art feature, and you see it, you know, how it treated the different ones. I like the berries and stuff like on this one. I really like that. So I don't really care for the bear, but I really like the actual border. So again, Okay, so I goofed and literally recorded like 20 minutes and totally did not record it. So anyway, so the last time that, I was in here and I was showing you that I liked this one and I liked the border and everything. So I'm going to take you now back into Canva and kind of show you what I did with it. And I apologize. Sometimes that happens with the videos. So basically what I did was I took, and I will do it again. I took and uploaded this one. And, well, let me just do it this way. Okay. So I took this one and I basically went in and removed the bear. And you can do that with Magic Grab. And you can actually just delete it right from there if you want to. So it didn't really damage that. We're going to go back out now, and we've got the bear. So we have this that we can work with. And I realized that this looked really pretty for like a cottage core type recipe card. So I basically built a recipe card. And how I did that, let me just go back up here and show you. You can see how I put it together. But in order for you to do the lines and everything, you really shouldn't use the thing. I know you could go here and you could do recipe card. And, it's going to give you a lot of different, you can scroll through these templates and, like you could do this and, get this layout like this. But we don't need to do that because you cannot use any of those are all pro features. So now this one actually is not a pro feature. So my understanding is that you actually could use these that are not pro features. So now me, I probably wouldn't. I don't know where those came from. They look like potentially, let me just see. Let me go back. See if we can figure out here. It says Canva Creative Studio. So my understanding is you could probably use those. So you could, but I build my own, or either I have templates that I have purchased. Like, see, I like this, and this one is not a pro feature. So this would be cute, and then you could replace the things. So I'll have to research into that to see. But anyway, for our purposes, I just basically went into tools, grabbed a line here. It's wider than or it's thicker than the stroke weight is more than I wanted. So I reduced that down to 2 and made it like that. Okay, so then I drag it out the size that I wanted it, this one line, and you can move it wherever you want. And then I duplicated it and then lined it up about where I wanted it. And then you can just duplicate it like that and get your lines. So that's super easy to do. And then you can, my advice is if you ever do this, to go back in and select and group those and save them and start building you some elements. So see, what I would do here is do a blank page, and then I would copy this. Oh, you want to keep on grouped. Okay. I would duplicate that and then just drag it down here. And then the next time that you are building, you will have this element already done. So you've got this one. You could actually duplicate it again, and you could actually make it smaller, like a little small box here that we've already done. We've done that very quickly. So we have a little small box. We could take this one and we could group it. We could duplicate it again like this. And then we could actually go up here and, we could do a box. Like this. We could put it over here. And we could put that to the backward. And we would have one that has we'll just do like that. Now we have a box, and we could change the color. We could change the position to where it's to the backwards. Or, yeah. And then we could change the color to whatever color we wanted. And then we could change the position to the back again. And then we have a box that is colored that we could use. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So now we have the box. We group it again. We group it. And so we have that element. So now we have all these different elements that we could use wherever we wanted to use them, however we wanted to use them. How cool is that? So, and then not only that, but we could duplicate again. And I keep ungrouping, trying to ungroup things. Duplicate it again. This time I'm going to make another page so we can come down here. And see, this is where you get ahead, is when you're doing something, you can just, so let's just say we want to do this. Okay, so we're going to ungroup it, and let's just say we want to make, okay, we're going to put it back here. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a long thing. Oops, that one got messed up. So we want to do it. Line it back up again, and then you don't want to lose your momentum or you don't get it. So this would be like a whole. So if you're going to be doing a lot of planners and stuff like that, this is a great way. Set aside just a few minutes that you can create these things, and then you have those elements that you can use over and over again. You just keep them in a file, and then you know that you can go into a different let's go into a different one, and I'll show you how you can pull those up and then use them. So let's just say we want to go into this one, which really is not. Oh, this is a document, so I don't think we can use that one. So let's go into here. And let's just grab something. It would be so hard to find. I have a lot of things that I have done lately. Is that a document too? No. It says a new email, but anyway. Okay. So let's just say we want to go to the projects, and we want to go in this, and then we just made all of these, right? Okay. So we could just drag them right on in here. Canva's doing something weird, and I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so let's reload the site. Okay. And that did not work the way it should have. Normally, you can go in, and when you add a page like that, it says double click to edit. Okay. I guess this is the new Canva thingy. So let's see what it's doing. I don't know. Canva's added some stuff, and it's really weird. Okay, so now we can do it. Now, I don't know why they added that, and I hope that's not for like forever, because that seems really, really stupid. We don't want to edit inside our same page or whatever. So we're going to skip that and discard the changes and go back to where we were. So we'll go back into here. Okay, but that's kind of how we did it. So let me show you my end product here. So I played with removing backgrounds. We did that before. But then this is the recipe card that I came up with. And then I decided, I would like to remove the background and then rebuild one. And then I did a cover because this was designed as an 8.5 by 11. So it would fit in one of those little 3-ring binder things. And I thought, oh, this would be such a cool Christmas gift, So you could do the binder cover. And I actually used one of Canva's free images for the parchment behind here. And then I went back in and actually changed the card up. So you've got 2 different versions that you could work with. And I liked the one here that had the parchmenty aged look, which I think is really cool. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. We touched on a lot of different things, incorporating and using the different playbooks together inside Artistly, but you can use all of my playbooks with other generators. It's just easier for me to show you inside the one I use. If you're interested in Artistly and you don't already have it, I do have a affiliate code down in the description along with all my other links. Be sure and join my Facebook group. It's free. Lots of more help with what you're trying to do with Artistly or the other stuff that you're trying to design. And you want to subscribe to the channel to make sure you get all of my updates when I load new videos. I have a free newsletter that is great for you to subscribe to, and it is also down in the description, along with links to both of the stores where you can get my playbooks. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and until next time, happy creating.